Welcome, everybody. So today I have the pleasure and honor to introduce you to someone very special, Mr. Mervyn Manilall, who is the founder of Vroume, and he would be discussing a bit about what's Vroume today with us. So, Mervyn, over to you. So let's give a quick introduction about yourself, and then we can start the discussion.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hello, everyone. I'm Melvin. I'm the founder of Vroume. Uh, I've been working on this idea for a lot of time, and some other people now still started calling me Mr. Vroume, but no, I'm Melvin. Yeah, I do Vroume in my free time because I'm a firm believer that ecology is very important. But in full time, I'm a software developer at MCB. And in my free time, I get to work on Room. I get to do the development, the marketing, and all the business side. So we're actually a team of two, and I've got to learn a lot from it. So
That's really
apart from Room, I also do some write technical blogs. I do some presentation. I've got the chance to attend some of Abdallah's. Yeah,
cool. That's interesting. So, before we get into Rome, how did you get this idea to start it? Is it just about the ecology, or is it just about an idea that came in? How does it struck your mind? Because it's kind of interesting. Because to be honest with you, the first time Abdallah was sharing that with me, like the name itself is interesting. It's very original. And you know what triggers in my mind? I have a kid, and I always do like this with the car, vroom vroom.
yeah,
You know, so that's amazing. So I would like to understand, how did you get to this idea and what it is about?
yeah. So the ideation took a hell lot of time actually. So the idea like started popping in my mind when I started to work 7 years ago. So my first job was in Saint Pierre. I live in Brazil, so I have to take the bus. Take the bus from my home to Brazil and then from Brazil to Saint Pierre. So in the bus, I like taking the bus. I like meeting people and hearing like different crazy stories in the bus. But as time go on, you kind of start waking up not that early. So you kind of get late. So you have to take the bus, and then you see only one person uh, in their car. So for like 4, 5 cars in front of you, and then at the back of the bus, it was same. So then I started saying, okay, so I'll be late, not only because I wake up late, but because of those guys just want to stay in their car. So as time goes on, I was thinking, okay, we need to get something done because it's not possible to wake up early every time. And then I changed up. I went to Port Louis. Yeah, Port Louis is the capital of Mauritius and the capital of traffic congestion in Mauritius. I've joined MCB at that time. Then I've got to understand, okay, so maybe those people work in a big company, and for example, a company of 3,000 person, they might not know each other. Maybe they're on the same building, but one is on the third floor and one is on the ninth floor. So they don't know each other. I say, okay, why not to get everybody to put this information on the same platform so that they get to see who is going from which location and they are going in the same direction, and why not get everybody in the same place? So it started like that. I said, okay, let's do the first MVP. At that time, it was called Proof Cause, like just a platform where you can do it, like very basic one. So we've got 50 users signed up on Proof Cause. It was going pretty well. And then COVID hit. COVID hit. A lot of things were changing. The way we were working changed. There was more work from home. It's something that was not very popular in Mauritius at that time. I say, okay, uh, that's the turning point in Mauritius where people get to change their mindset. And I said, okay, at some point in time, we'll have to go back into office because we won't stay in lockdown mode forever. Then I did a pivot actually. I've got some feedback from people on Proof Cause. Uh, and they said what they like, what they didn't like. So first thing, they didn't like the name. It didn't hit them. So thinking, so I've got the idea Vroume also from a kid in my family. So when they saw the logo of Poof Girls, it was just a small white girl. So like, okay, boom, boom. Okay, that's the name. So that's one thing done. Uh, and also during COVID, we've got to see like everybody stayed in their home, apart from their friend. And after the lockdown, everybody got social. Everybody wants to meet their friend. Everybody wants to go. I say, okay, instead of a platform, let's get Vroume, the newly found name actually, to be a social network, but not like the TikTok version. So I say, okay, why not get a ride sharing social network where you get to create your own group? You see, you get to create a group where everybody knows everyone. So if, for example, I know you, Abdallah, and for example, there's another friend that you know, well, I don't know that friend. I know somehow we're in the same group and I can trust this guy indirectly, but I can trust this guy. So this will increase my chances of meeting someone new, save costs and fuel, decrease traffic, and allow somebody to wake up late and still reach in time. So there was a lot of time in ideation. There was a pivot. There was a lot of things to get to that point where we are now. So we are not just the simple platform that we used to be. So now we're social network platform.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and there's two things which is very interesting here is you've mentioned about one important aspect. You've been able to adapt yourself due to COVID, and then you move it from just a push to a social platform. That's number one. Secondly, is feedback, and this is not in the list of the question. You said you were receptive to customer feedback, right? Is it something which you gathered like a one-to-one interview with the customers? Is it a form? How did you get those feedback towards you?
So, you see, when we do the posting on social media, whether it's about a new feature or something that we have at heart, so we always say to comment down, to send us a message, whatever it is. And I'm very happy that people are now very confident, even if they don't know you, they like whenever they give you a feedback, they won't sugarcoat it. Whether it's on social media or when I meet someone, for example, people in MCB who are using Room, they just say, okay, you're Mr. Vroume. I say, no, I'm Mervyn, but I'm the guy behind it. They say, okay, there's something I would like to have. For example, one feedback I can share. I met someone who said, okay, when I'm traveling, I don't want people to talk politics in my car or stuff, but there's no way to tell people that I don't want that. It would be good to have somehow a way to tell people, okay, we can do whatever, we can discuss whatever matter it is, but don't talk politics. So
Okay.
then there was the whole thinking process, and now we're going to release uh, something that will allow people to push some of the things that we don't want to have discuss or whatever it is, a music or something. So we've got that feedback which is gathered like directly. So we're a group of two, we're a team of two actually. We don't have a lot of hierarchy. So whenever there's a feedback coming from whether my co-founder or from myself, we got to talk about it and deliver it quite fast. It's also very important, yeah. So if there's not like the whole process of having a filter and whatever it is, we don't want filtered or sugar-coated feedback.
That's super interesting because there was one session which me and Abdallah recently did. It's about feedback to be given in a professional life, but the feedback you're saying that from a customer, and this is how shows you the importance. It can be simply an improvement in your feature, or as well as a big compliment to what you've achieved. So let's dig on in Rome in terms more of very high level. We've talked about how you get the idea. What is Rome? Now, I would like to understand, in terms of technologies, what are the technologies you've used behind?
Yeah, yeah, good question. Um, so we started Proof Cause. At that time it was like a lot of time ago. I wanted to get the MVP out quite fast to be able to know what's missing to get the maximum feedback. So at that time I was still am very good in PHP. Sorry for the guys who don't like PHP, but that was a way for me to get something out very fast. So I was able to get the first version of Proof Cause up in 2 months. So I was the only one doing the coding, and everything. So I was able to get that up in 3 months. So, whether you like PHP or not, I'm not going to get there, but it was something that helped me get up to where I wanted very fast. So it was backend with CPHP, and then we've got JavaScript for the front end and stuff. And now as we're adding features, like we want, I want to get to the point where everything is like very pluggable, reusable. So now we're moving towards the approach of microservices with Spring Boot and Kotlin. Yeah. In the backend, I want that to be, very efficient.
Robust.
Yeah. And like variable, like for example, there's something I want to add. I want to go change a whole monolith uh, function or a whole monolith page for just that. So the microservice approach now makes more sense as the code base is getting huge actually. So yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's really good. When you mention two things, is one about MVP. That's the very big mindset in entrepreneurship. And when there was a discussion again between me and Abdallah one day, is like when we started Tech News, is like let's do it. Let's start something. Let's get to something. Let's get something going so that people like you or others can share. And this is kind of an MVP, something whereby it would have those feature. And the second point is it gets to you what you are missing. And to be honest, I was a developer a very long time ago, but I started with PHP and I have a very beautiful code, which I shared in my guest lectures and so on. But I appreciate your evolution, how you started with a very simple system in PHP and moved it to a very robust, it in any language. Today you use Java or Kotlin, but it's kind of interesting, especially in terms of architecture. You've come from a monolithic to a more microservice space. That's super interesting.
yeah. And
So
the thing is
what
that there are other people who will criticize the language you use or the like whether it's PHP or not. But at the end of the day, you need to deliver. For example, with like a mission to solve a specific problem. So people will care about the problem which is being solved, not about like the language or the way the code is being written. So the code needs to be clean. Everything needs to be secure. But we won't get to the debate whether it's going to be PHP is good or not. So we need to deliver something which is valuable to the customer, still which makes sense actually, which is uh,
the,
like secure.
yeah, I remember one thing. One day it was my first demo when I started, and I remember the client came in directly from the airport to the office. I was there. And to be honest, I was coding in .NET, and then the manager came in. He's like, the secondary project which you are not looking at for the past 2 months, the client is here and you need to present something. And to be honest, I just shifted everything in pure HTML and then I moved it back. I coded it in PHP, but that's the thing. Sometimes people don't realize it, especially when you need to have a product out for you as an individual, not for a company. The most important thing is how it's going to solve the problem. That's a very big term, solving problem. Instead of focusing, like go into details, and there's a term used, devils is in details sometimes, and this tends to get extended and nothing is out. I think that's really good on the technology side. One last question from us is what's next for Vroom? Where do you want to see Vroom as well?
Yeah, but like for everything, I want like for everything that makes sense to everyone. I want the mission. I want the adventure of room to go uh, as far and as long as possible. So we want to. So we've got a pretty solid user base. So we're not like a lot of people yet on room. So this is one thing that I want to do. I want to get like more people interesting in the mission of doing ride sharing because it makes sense. We have that in France, we have that in the US, we have that in a lot of countries. But we say that we want a modern Mauritius, but we cannot stay like in the mindset that okay, I don't want to bring people that I don't know in my BMW or stuff. So the thing that I want is to get more people like the change in mindset to start doing carpooling, not because for any business reason or whatever. It's just to continue in the mission of the ecology and solving the problem. But yeah, and next step is why not have a modern Mauritius with more carpoolers?
That's kind of a very good initiative. Thanks, Mervyn. It was really we were really happy to have you here. Hope to see you soon. Thanks
Yeah,
for
sure.
this small interview. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.